Admiral's Log, February 14th, 1934. The wars have lasted 3 years by now. 3 years of fighting various different foes in different theaters of war. These experiences have yielded valuable insights into the types of ships we're going to need in the next few years. I've laid out my requests for 2 new types of ships. A battlecruiser, capable of operating largely alone, and a heavy battleship armed with the new Mark III 17-inch guns. The battlecruiser is to be capable of operating anywhere in the world and take on any kind of threat. Her guns will be average in size and, in tandem with her secondaries, she'll be able to defend herself from threats both large and small. The battleship is a longer-term project. It will sport the largest guns we can effectively put on our ships, the Mark III 17-inch. These battleships will require support from smaller ships as they are very large, coming in well over 100,000 tons. This gives their guns a very stable firing platform, but it also makes the ships very easy to attack with smaller ships and torpedoes. To that end, they will need an escort of cruisers and destroyers. It will take some years before both of these new ship classes become fully operational, but I have no doubt we will still have foes to fight at that time. Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome to episode 5 of the US 1930s campaign. It is time to start designing some new ships. This is probably going to be an episode a bit heavier on ship design and a bit lighter on conflict. Since I have the ability to start building bigger battleships, that is definitely what we're going to do. But first, I want to build the Alaska class. Now the Alaska class is a ship that's displacing about, I think it was 35,000 tons. So that means that the large cruiser is probably my best bet. You also have the modern battlecruiser. Hull form here is slightly better. Stability on the large cruiser is better. Floatability 90, floatability 85, resistance 80, resistance 79. Optimal speed 34.5, optimal speed 33.5. Based on all these stats and the fact that I want a 33 knot battlecruiser, I think this is going to be fine. Seeing as I'm operating really far from home, I'm going to bring maximum range, and I'm going to be bringing a lot of shells. That is going to be really important. Now the Alaskas had 9 12-inch guns, so that's what I will be bringing on this ship as well. Its mission profile, fairly all-round. Make sure the ship is capable of dealing with a multitude of threats, ranging from cruisers to, from afar, battleships. So, plunging fire ideally on the battleships, using speed and maneuverability to stay at range. Now, please keep in mind, this thing is going to be Alaska-esque. It's not going to be strictly an Alaska class, because it's really difficult to get the exact type of ship in-game. But when it comes to armament, I will try to stick as closely as possible to that. So they're going to get 9 12-inchers, check. They're also going to get 12 double 5-inchers, check. Oh, well, sorry, this is 10. Where am I going to get the last? No, wait, did they have 12? Or did they have 10? Just checked. They had 12 5-inch guns, so I already have more than the Alaskas had. Or, well, were supposed to have. They are also going to get 56 40mm, which is 1.57 inch. And that means I'm going to have to downsize a couple of 2-inchers. And this should give them ample protection against the destroyers. I can also put those on the bow. I can put those there. Let's see, let's make them a bit smaller. These are going to be 1. How precise does this get? Okay, let's say 1.6 millimeters, that is. Sorry, 1.6 inch. So not exactly what I would like, but good enough. Now, what I have noticed with these guns is that if you increase the range by increasing the barrel length, that doesn't actually translate to in-game stats. So I'm going to just ignore this, because I think it is largely irrelevant. What is not irrelevant is the way that these shells find their mark. I'm banking on longer range firepower, so stereoscopic. Improved loading, electro-hydraulic turrets. Let's go with TNT-4. Look, I'm really not that creative when it comes to the shell type. I just generally pick whatever is last in the line, unless I'm doing something a bit more special. And by special, I mean I'm trying to get a ship like an HE Spammer. When you have an HE Spammer, you're trying to get as much shell damage or as much fire chance on a shell. In this case, I don't really need that special type of shell, so we're just going to go for 2 Powder 2 and TNT-4. Let's go with a maximum amount of shells. This does increase the chance that I blow up. It also means that instead of carrying 330 shells per turret, we're going to be carrying 446. That's a lot of firepower, and I am expecting to have these ships out at sea longer. Now, the next element where I'm going to deviate when it comes to the original Alaska design is the amount of funnels that this thing has. Because the more funnels that you get, the higher your engine efficiency gets. But let's see. This puts me at 106 million and 23,000 tons, giving me currently an operational range of 13,000 kilometers. This is 16,000, puts me at 111 million, and displacement 23,000. So I think, for all intents and purposes, the diesels are better. And if I can fit a couple of really quite sizable funnels, that'd be lovely. This is 55, 55, 32. So why are you better? What's the difference between Big Funnel 1 and Big Funnel 2? Everything is the same. The thing does strike me as being physically larger. Go off. It looks like Big Funnel 2 is slightly bigger by 14 tons, but its stats are exactly the same. Which means we're going to go for Big Funnel 1. Hoping that that will fit. Uh-oh. Doesn't fit on the second part, so we're going to have to go with an advanced funnel there. Bringing engine efficiency to a mere 77%. Let's give them some oil. This still doesn't exactly give me the type of engine efficiency that I'm looking for, because it's only 92%. I could try and make the ship sleeker, but the superstructure probably wouldn't fit anymore. So this is a 55, this is a 32. What if I fit another 2? There we go, we just passed 101,000. Oh, sorry, 101%. So it's marginally better. Also, I am missing a gun here. There, the port side was a bit heavier. Alright, let's bring the turret back. Put that a bit farther on the stern. Trying to get this thing to be a 360-degree spinner. Making sure it's easier to acquire a target. And if I can do the same thing here, that would be lovely. Yep, there we go. Again, Alaska-esque. Not strictly Alaska. I'm going to make this a bit worse, if you will. Because I want to try and balance the ship out. Because now we can push this slightly back. Yeah, this is fine. I know I'm a bit stern heavy, but that's not a problem, because I still need to add a bunch of armor. Anti-Flash 5, really quite heavy, not that expensive. It's 3 million, reducing flash fire chance by as much as 30%, and then 50% flash fire spreading chance reduction. Really nice. Anti-torps. That begs the question, what is your turning circle? 961. Okay, let's work on that first. 456. That's a lot better. And if I give him an auxiliary engine, we're going to have even better rudder shift. This is the diesel electric auxiliary system. Minus 55% engine. Wow. Okay. If this thing takes damage and it loses an engine, it's going to get a speed penalty. Because you simply cannot generate as much engine power. By getting the diesel electric, it's going to reduce that by a lot. It's not 33% reduction. It's a 55% reduction. It does make the ship 40 million more expensive. Fortunately, money is not really an object in this campaign. I have a lot of it. Anti-torp 3, because I have a tendency of having several unwanted run-ins with torpedoes. Let's put... Do we want an RDF? Well, I still have some displacement, it's fine. Okay, what sort of shells are we going to be shooting? What type of AP shells? Currently, semi-armor piercing. It's a 25,000 meter range, pens with AP 8.3 inches. Should be sufficient to go right through any superstructure with semi-armor piercing. Against bows, sterns, especially when they're angled, it becomes a bit more difficult. But the semi-armor piercing shells have that reduction in ricochet chance and angle. So in this case, it might just work out. Something like standard does give me 90% minimum shell. I mean, I still struggle understanding this at times. So your minimum AP ricochet angle. At what angle does the shell ricochet? It's reduced by 90%. Which is a debuff, so it increases by 90 degrees. Oh, sorry, 90%. You still following me? Good, that makes one of us. If I give him SAPBC, so semi-armor piercing ballistic capped shell, that's going to give me how much? 8.3. So we went from 8.1 to 8.3. No, we didn't. Ah, there we go. Now we're at 10.6. Okay. The enemy has a seriously decent amount of battleships and cruisers. So I think semi-ballistics are actually not that bad of a choice. Light shells reduce the flash fire chance, which has been increased since we took more ammo on this ship. It also boosts reload time. So they now reload in 23 seconds. That is really nice. Do they do a lot of damage is the question. Well, with AP, not that much. But when it comes to HE, they currently still do 1200 damage. The thing is, I'm not going to be carrying that much HE. Most likely standard is the safest bet. And these HE shells are also going to seriously impact what type of damage I can expect from my secondaries. Because these reload in 5.8 seconds. I am expecting them to mostly deal damage against smaller ships, which with HE they generally tend to do. If I give them something like a nose fuse, that'll be more than sufficient to start melting destroyers. And with these guns, 5 kilometers out, you really don't want anything within 5 kilometers of a battlecruiser because these things are too clunky to turn. They reload in 1.6 seconds though. Blisteringly quick. Now the question is, do I have enough of those small guns? Yes. I'm supposed to have 56. I have 52. Come on, there gotta be more slots. Positions. Yes, there. That I haven't used. Hopefully that doesn't impact my stern turret that much. Nah, we'll be fine. Let's shift the whole thing forward just a notch. I believe we cannot turn any more here. Here, but now we're good. I have to push this turret back forward. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So, nose fuse, semi-ballistics. I believe I have all the upgrades and all the gear that I need. I didn't forget anything. No. Let's rename them. They're kind of Alaskas-ish. Just not exactly how the Alaskas were, I suppose. So, yeah. If you want to start complaining in the comments, this is not an Alaska. By all means, it is not. And I'm going to be the first one to admit that. It is not an Alaska class, nor am I pretending that it is. Okay, 2,000 tons, armor. Again, this is where we're going to start to stray really far from the Alaskas, because I want to have this thing have a pretty hefty forebelt, like 8-inch. We're going to have a 14-inch main belt. Inner belt is really quite thick. Let's say 4.5. We're going to go with 2.5 and 2, so that if something, yeah, at least 50% of the shell's penetrating power is lost before hitting this layer. So something pens the main belt, and then it comes up against this. So let's say something can pen, I don't know, 20 inches. It runs into the 14-inch armor belt. It loses a lot of kinetic power, and then this inner armor belt is going to slow it down even more, further reducing the amount of damage that the whole ship will take. Okay, increase the main deck a little bit. Why is the foredeck not balanced with the aft deck? Let's increase the aft belt a little bit as well. I mean, I can try and say that I want to keep these things at range, but that's generally not that in line with my playstyle. I tend to try and get my ships almost into knife fighting range every single time. So I can pretend and say, well, that's not my thing. I don't do that, but yeah, I do. Okay, so I think we're done. Alaska class, 37,000 tons, costs me 200 million. I think that's perfectly fine. That does make them about half the price of one of those big New York classes at 92,000 tons. They cost me 458 million. The Alaskas are going to take 24 months to build. So, yeah, I think that's a nice design. Okay, moving on. Battleship time. Big-ass battleship time. I can go up to 109,000 tons, but my shipyard can do more, I believe. So I can make this thing wider, and I intend to, because a wider ship offers more stability. And more stability plus big guns is generally really good. Yeah, I can go to 118,000 tons. I just don't have the hull yet. So let's focus on... is it hull strengthening? Yeah, I need to focus on hull strengthening. Oh! Potentially there's going to be a new hull available in a month. Okay, give me a minute. Sadly, the game did lie to me. It said there might have been a new hull available, but there simply was not. So, we still have the super battleship, maximum 109,000 tons. The next tier is 86,000, but we're going to go for the big guy. Considering I can make the ship a bit wider, I will. To the point where the game goes, hold on a moment, I cannot make it that wide without it fitting in the shipyard. There we go, plus 12% width. This is going to be a ludicrously expensive battleship. No, this one. And that's fine. It's going to be fairly fast. It is not going to be called Montana, because it is far bigger than the Montana class. Montana class was designed to do 70,000 tons, I think. Pretty much to the same tune as the Yamato. My ship is something quite different. Really quite different. There we go. The problem is, this thing is really heavy already. And I haven't added armor, I haven't added a single gun. So that is a problem. Look at that. Holy shit. Holy shit. And I still need to add a ton of gear. Okay. If I reduce the beam? No, it does help. A lot, actually. Because now I have 22,000 tons available. If I make it really wide... Oh, never mind. I still have 22,000 tons available. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, the 17-inchers got upgraded to the Mark IIIs recently. And I'm planning on having 12. This will give me an engagement range of 31 kilometers, a reload of 111 seconds without a boosted reloader. So, let's go with a huge superimposed barbette. And make sure that these 17-inchers sit nice and tight on a good platform. Engagement range 20,000 meters, 0.9% accuracy, still 0.9. Doesn't really matter that much. It's barely noticeable. Alright. Now just notice how much hull there actually is available next to the turret. These things are very wide, these ships. Very wide. Let's make sure they don't blow themselves up. Let's give them a electric bat. What? Let's not give them an electric battery set. What if I reduce speed? What's the maximum recommended speed on this hull? 33 knots. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Mega funnel, 75, 77, 80. Not even the 4 fits there? Wow. 82% only? That's pretty bad. I'm considering downscaling this thing to a 17-inch dual barrel because it gives me 1,000 tons more to work with per gun. So let's just go with that. So copy this, put that there. 17-inch dual. No? Oh, sorry, side mount. Center, 17-inch dual barrel. Click. Click. Okay. 8,000 tons available. Why am I being this way? And this can just go over here. Pull this whole thing forward. Pull this whole thing forward. Thank you. Pull this forward. Reduce the size of the citadel this way. If I can make this a 360, that'd be fantastic. Yeah. Okay, cool. When I say I'm making something a 360, it's not really proper English, but it means that this turret can turn in any direction and doesn't intersect with the secondary tower. Makes your life a lot easier. Okay, we still only have an engine efficiency of 82%. So let's go with one of the mega funnels over there. 84. I believe you can cheat if you really want to. You can go forced boilers and then diesels, and now you're all of a sudden at 127, but this is cheating. Because a diesel engine, as far as I understand, doesn't have a boiler. This is a bug / remnant, because it's cheating. It's simple. It's cheating. It's a remnant because this is not supposed to have a boiler, so we're going to go with natural. And we're going to say, boom, diesels, 84% engine efficiency. I guess they're not going to be the most efficient sailing ships. It's not ideal, but hey, it's fine. 84%. We still got a boost. We still got more operational range. We still got more cruising speed. It's fine. Now then, loading systems. Auto-loaders. Please give me better rotations on the turrets. TNT. This is looking a little ridiculous. Move this forward, please. Move this forward. Move this back. Push this forward. There. This is fine. I just want to have this slightly farther back, so it's also a 360. I want to have this farther forward, so it's also a 360. There we go. Now I have 6,000 tons to play around with. I still want to have much better steering gear, because my turning circle is 1,000 meters. I want to have a better engine. Oh, holy crap, that's heavy. Oh, it's the engine weight. What if I go back to 30 knots? 3,000 tons less. It's not ideal, because it makes running away from the enemy a lot harder, but it'll have to do. If I want to go with Anti-Torp 5, I blow the whole budget on this ship. The whole displacement budget, so let's not. Shell type. Semi-armor piercing strikes me as interesting because it is a shell that can damage virtually anything. At 15,000 meter range, 20 inches of pen. That ought to be enough to go through a battleship. Depending on where you hit it. But 15,000 meter range, yeah, you can fairly safely go through a battleship. If I go super heavy shells, it's going to slightly negate that ricochet chance. Slightly debuff the ricochet angle that I have. But it means that at 15,000 meter range, I can now do 22.7 inch. Which is better. I'm going to have increased shells, which barely moves the needle on this ship, giving me about 300 shells per turret, so 1,200 shells in total. And this thing fires every 81 seconds with a cadet crew, so it can only go up. I'm probably expecting a reload of about 70, maybe 60 seconds, depending on how well the crew gets trained. Okay then. Double barrel, 8 inchers. Can I fit them here? Not really. Oh, these are Mark IV. What? Only the 3-inch is a Mark V. That's a bit of a letdown. These do have a very nice amount of range of 15 kilometers. So yeah, let's go with this. Rotate. In case you don't know what the rotate keys are, R and T. Rotate back and forth. So that's your secondary armament against cruisers and destroyers to some extent, although against destroyers an 8-inch is not really an ideal weapon. Can I fit... Wow, you can fit 4-inch up there? Does that go with the 5ers? No. 4 is what we're going to be using. So 4-inch dual barrel. 1, 2, 3. This does not shoot out the bow. But I can have one over there. Very nice. Couple of 3s. These things don't weigh much. 13 tons each. It's fine. Still don't quite understand what you're supposed to put over there. Like a 2-inch? Not even a 2-inch. Okay, fine. 3-inch duals there. Can I use those positions on the bows and the stern? Because, it's fairly exclusive to the American hull, so I might as well use it. These things range out to 8.7 kilometers, reload in 2.5 seconds. They carry 1,000 rounds of ammunition per. That's a lot of ammo. The issue is, they're not armored. That's a problem. What I can do... Yeah, I can upgrade the 4s, but then the game is going to start complaining that the funnel is out of position. How's my engine efficiency suddenly 108? Oh, because I reduced the speed on this thing. Got it. Okay, now it fits. Now it fits. Are these things that heavy? Holy shit! They only weigh 4.5 tons plus 9 tons of ammo. But if you put them this far forward, 2 of them, it really tips the scale. Holy crap. Okay, we're not going to put them over there. That's a lot. That's very difficult to balance out. Incendiary shells. Nose fuses. Better HE fire chance. This is muzzle velocity, giving these shells a speed of what? 646 only? That's fairly slow. Unless you give the 8-inchers like 20% longer barrels or whatever they're able to get, and then you get 864. But the problem is, the game, like I said, doesn't really use it. Anyway, I'm now at least able to armor up my 4-inch turrets so that they don't drop off the moment they get hit by, I don't know, something as small as a 3-inch gun. No, that doesn't work. 3,000 tons to armor the ship. Okay. What do we have? We got 19 inches on the turret, 8 inches there, 9, it's fine. Inner belt, I want 5-inch there. Give me a 15-inch armor belt. How's my citadel looking? Fairly large. Okay, we're going to go with 7-inch there. 7-inch stern. And then superstructure is going to be 4-inch. If that fits. It's going to be hard. 3 for now. Ideally, I would keep this thing at range, but again, I generally tend not to. 10-inch main deck is something I can live with. Inner deck. I don't think I can boost it that much without it becoming an issue. Yeah, it's too heavy. 2-inch there. 2-inch inner. And another 2-inch super inner. Or however much you can get. There we go. Okay, 3-inch super. 4 deck is fine. I mean, I can try to boost it, but I'll simply make the ship overweight. Also, she is perfectly balanced. Perfectly balanced. She even has RDF. She has sonar to at least spot incoming torpedoes. Let's go for a standard ratio here. And I think we're good. For those of you wondering why I don't use capped ballistic shells, in my experience, they tend to ricochet all the time. It's just not worth it. You either overpen your target or you don't pen it at all. The shell either has way too much punch and flies right through the target and essentially out the other end, or it doesn't get through because it is really sensitive to ricochet. Interestingly, this has plus 80% maximum AP shell What? So this does not ricochet very likely, if I'm getting this correctly. Yeah, minus 65% AP ricochet chance. This, plus 20% AP ricochet chance. So your chance of getting a ricochet is just far worse. It also does less damage. Because you're putting everything into just punching a hole in something at the expense of an explosive charge inside of the shell. But at 15,000 meter range, it does give you a 56-inch pen, which is fairly ludicrous. By contrast, with my semi-ballistics, I'm getting a 28-inch, which I think is fine. Why is the ship overweight? Oh, because I was using the wrong shell type. Okay, and now 15,000, I got 22. It's fine. It's good enough. I don't need this to be massively powerful. Okay, pitch and roll should be fine. The pitch is good. The additional beam means I get 10% bonus accuracy. That's really nice. I do get less acceleration, less turn rate, less speed at maximum turning rate, less operational range by 25%. That could be a problem. That could be a problem. I could reduce the draft, I suppose. But I doubt it's going to do me any favors, because reducing draft does mean you get more base accuracy, but again, you're reducing your operational range. So let's just keep this at 0. All right, so that's our ship. Let's not call that the Montana. Oh, I don't know. What is a good ship class name for something this big that still has to do with the US? I always like the name Ticonderoga. I know they tend to be cruisers, although I think they also had a carrier at some point called the Ticonderoga. Anyway, Ticonderoga. Cost 714 million. Takes 38 months to build. What? You're telling me that this thing, which is 20,000 tons bigger than the New York class, only takes you 4 months more? That's really impressive. Okay. Well, it's American, so it's got to have big guns and it's got to be fairly fat. Let's go and build a couple of these. And hope that the campaign isn't over too quickly before I'm able to get a couple of these things fielded. 75 million a month? We're going to have 3. I'm still positive. Holy crap. I also want 5 Alaskas. There, now I'm going to be negative. Let's cut spending on... Let's reduce spending on research a bit. I mean, I believe I'm still fairly okay. Average, very advanced for the Brits? Really? Wouldn't say so, considering what they've been doing with their ships, but okay. Average, 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 average. Good. Okay. Well, like I said, this episode is going to be a bit more build heavy, and that means no fighting on this one. But don't worry, because if you look at the Mediterranean, there is plenty of stuff to fight in future episodes. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your thoughts are on the new ships, and I'll see you soon for more videos.